What's poppin', boys? It's the Gay Agenda, here to take you on a wild ride through Gravity Rush. Gravity Rush. Gravity Rush. I'm just gonna keep saying that. It's definitely not going to be annoying ever. So it's been like a month or so since I last recorded this. And actually I'm getting close to the end of my backlog on this, but not on Sonic, because I still have 2 more videos of this recorded than I do of Sonic. So yeah, basically I'm just recording this just so I have something to put out. I've completely forgotten how this mini-map works, I guess. Wasn't there like another sewer somewhere around here? Like in the school? Evidently there was not. Yeah. Let's not waste too much time with that. Let's actually get on with, I guess, the finale of Lejeune. Weird. I figured out after recording part 6 that I completely forgot the game's structure, and yet I still remembered, yeah, this game did definitely feel incomplete in a lot of ways. And the structure, I think, is the biggest part of why that is. Because you spend like 6 chapters in Hexville, and then like 2 in each area after that. But for some reason, I remember having a full, like, at least 4 missions in this area here that we're in, Lejeune. But no, we're heading right over the Rift Plane. Okay, so, let me just get a timeline of events for this real quick. So, I recorded this video and the next video after this in one, kind of big session, just because I didn't want to, do this and then have another video that I kind of have to record later on. It's just side stuff, because the side stuff's a little less quick and easy to get out. So, I don't know. Figure just get it out of the way right now real quick. And since I'm going to be doing post-commentary on it anyway, it's like whatever. So I did that. Then I got around to editing this one after that and realized, oh wait, my commentary on this during the game part kind of sucked. But I didn't feel like recording the previous bit again. So, yeah. Here's this, and also it took me like 20 years to actually get around to recording the post-commentary for this, because I don't know why, but I finally found the good spot to do it in, a point where I am mildly anxious after having 50 million tasks piled on me in the last hour I was at work today. And not sure if I actually got everything I was supposed to do done before clocking out, after getting kind of pissed off at a coworker deserting like an hour before he was supposed to. Yeah, not in the best mood to do this, but I don't know. I have the energy to do it now, so I'm not gonna let this go to waste. I've already been putting this off for way too long. Anyway, this is I really like this Rift Plane. It's probably, at least aesthetically, my favorite Rift Plane in the game. I don't know. It starts with a cool little slide thing, and I don't know. I like something about the aesthetic of this one just is a little more interesting to me than the others. Even if it kind of has one of the weaker level themes in the game, because I don't know, something about this music just seems a bit plain compared to the rest of the game. I guess not bad, but eh. Yeah, and part of why I ended up not having particularly good commentary during this is just because, yeah, a lot of this, something you'll kind of start to see a lot more of as this game goes on during the one Rift plane after this that exists, is, you know, because this is a portable game, they don't really expect you to think too much about it. I guess they're like, okay, we can just kind of have the game go on for a little while, not really evolving too much, because, like, I think something people don't tend to appreciate a lot about portable games in terms of the design is just because the experiences of someone playing it is likely going to be different from someone just playing games at home. They tend to be designed in very different ways to how console games or PC games typically are. Which I guess nowadays is probably kind of becoming a lost art form, considering the current big handheld video game device, aside from like smartphones, which aren't really the same thing, would be the Switch, which is arguably about as much of a home console as it is a handheld, so games aren't really being made with the same sort of philosophy that old handheld games are anymore. At least that's how I view it, mainly. And honestly, even during the Vita generation, and this is part of why the Vita failed, I feel like even during that generation, games were starting to be designed less and less like handheld games, even on handhelds themselves. But Gravity Rush still kind of has some remnants of that, in just the fact that the missions don't really evolve themselves a lot, and the gameplay mechanically doesn't evolve itself in particularly notable ways. And I say this mainly because in Gravity Rush 2, the gameplay actually evolves significantly over the course of the game, at least in some ways. Like, the upgrades you get in that game's version of the Rift Planes kind of have more of a substantial impact on gameplay than just being a kind of lousy finisher move that you use once or twice when you're stuck. Like, you even see this in a lot of, like, I don't know, like, a lot of the Game Boy Advance games of that era, especially since a lot of Game Boy Advance games tended to be, like, quote-unquote ports of home console games that in actuality were just different games that shared a name with a console game for the sake of, I don't know, making more money or something. Just 'cause, like, you tend to see, like, for instance, in... This is gonna be a weird example, but, like, there was a SpongeBob game on GameCube and such called Battle for Bikini Bottom. That is probably one of the more notable examples I could have actually given, but whatever. I mainly bring it up because on console, it's basically a Spyro clone with fairly long levels, like about the length of your average rare collectathon level, I would say. They take a little while to go through, basically. Meanwhile, on the Game Boy Advance, all the levels are fairly short, side-scrolling platformer levels, which part of that's technical limitations, part of that's just because portable games, again, because people either play them when they're distracted or they just play them in short bursts, or it depends. You tend to see them be like, a lot smaller in terms of, like, scope. Like, you can just very easily pick up and put them down a lot more of the time. Which, interesting enough, I don't think Gravity Rush has too much of. Like, generally the missions don't go longer than, like, 10 minutes, but that's still kind of long for a handheld game. And I don't think the missions actually get much longer in the sequel. Yeah, also I did all that and completely, like, talked over the point where we got the upgrade, because who cares? It's a little bit more useful than the one we got from the last Rift plane. Just because you can actually fucking control it, but it's still kind of annoying to use, because, like, if you get hit even once, it gets canceled out, much like the other one does. So, yeah. Also, this area is, like, I don't know, something about it feels a lot trickier to hit everything in than the others, even though it's not actually. Like, I feel like I say that about a lot of things in games, because I've found myself doing it a lot, but I don't know, it's hard to describe, like, just that feeling of, why am I just sitting around here? Oh, probably my headphones dropped. Fun fact, by the way, I have new headphones. I got them, like, between recording the footage for this and recording the video prior to it. And, unlike the previous headphones, the ones I have now, they, like, wrap around the ear. And that's fine for when I'm just listening to something, but because I do these things where I have to, like, talk while wearing headphones, I kind of need to be able to hear myself, and these kind of muffle my voice, at least as far as I can hear it. Obviously not through the microphone, because I'm not putting my headphones on the microphone. That would be weird. But yeah. So I kind of have to wear them a little oddly, like, I kind of have to wear them, like, a little loose, if that makes any sense. And hey, here's our boss fight. Right in time for me to stop talking about anything other than the game. And here's the actual boss fight. I think in the original commentary I said something about Raven being a little more interesting of a boss than of the bosses from, like, the previous parts of the game. I don't entirely know why I said that, because really all you're doing is just, like, kicking her repeatedly, the same as you would any other opponent, but it's slightly more difficult to hit her just because she's a smaller target and she's, like, actually a bit active. But it's still not too hard. I mean, you're kind of gonna see in this footage that's, like, sometimes I'm missing, but I don't know. A lot of the time Raven just stands completely still and you can just make her eat shit immediately without really thinking too hard about it. I also really like Raven's battle theme, though. I think the remix of it for Gravity Rush 2 is a little better, but I still really like this one, even still. But yeah, like, I don't know. I kind of wish this fight was a little, like, later in the game, just so the whole concept of a rival fight would just get a little more room to stand, I guess. Because right now, Like, it doesn't feel too much like it just because she's not being super aggressive. She's just kind of, like, dodging pretty rapidly. Also, like, I was kind of expecting it to take a little longer to get where I am on her health bar. Just because, I don't know, I remember at some point during the fight I ran out of, what was it, the meter. I had to, like, oh, that's actually the point I'm talking about right now. Not the gravity meter, the health. Yeah, I should maybe pay attention to what's happening in the footage before I try to comment on it, but whatever. As I said, I didn't pick a particularly smart time to actually start recording commentary for this. Except for that I actually have the energy to do it now. Also, I don't think I realized just how much of this part of the map was in the Rift plane. Huh. Did I ever, like, try to use the upgrade we got in this level during this? I don't think I did. Because, again, the power-ups you get with, like, that you use triangle for are kind of useless in general. I say as I get her entire health bar all the way down the rest of the way. And also have trouble lining this up, I guess.
We should la plebie de l'est tu sais tout tu droit. Leven du chevy, place du kelul chiple.
I'm not sure why they have that line there, because it kind of feels like it comes too early. That actually does reference a story beat from later on in the game, but it doesn't make much sense here. Also, if you're wondering why I'm speeding this up, it's because I found a dude. One of the travelers, that is the traveling space-time people couple. And I don't know, I kind of wanted to show off the location of that. Just to make it a little easier for y'all to find them if you need to, because I don't know, I feel like Platoon is probably not as easy to navigate as Hexville for some reason, even though it's a more linear area. That might just be me. Or wait, no, it was the wife I found. Why did I think it was a guy? Also, I can never remember either of their names. But yeah, I also went looking for a manhole, but that one is a little more obvious, the location of it. In fact, I actually, like, pass over it in the next video while I'm doing the side stuff, and yeah, but whatever, I wanted to show me getting it here, because it's technically completion stuff. See y'all next time!